like to welcome you all on behalf of Council SMEs. A very warm welcome to our renowned speaker, moderator, delegates, and participants who took out their valuable time and joined us today to be part of this conference. We are honored and delighted with your presence. We all are here today to attend the webinar on emerging trends on digital marketing. I further introduce Mr. Ashok Kela, Vice Chairman of Council of SMEs, to take this forward and say a few lines. Over to you, Ashok, sir.
Thanks, Gurdeep. Thank you. Good afternoon and good evening and good morning, depending on your location in the world. Welcome to all. Council SME is pleased to organize today's webinar. I'm Ashok Laha, Vice Chairman of the Council SME. I'm also the President and CEO of the US-based company InterraIT, based in San Francisco, San Jose, California. Marketing is one of the most important activities carried out by any company. It helps to attract potential customers to for your products. Today's digital marketing is becoming dominant and replacing the old-fashioned marketing activities. The moderator, we got a great speaker, excellent speaker today, Manoj Bajaj, who is the authority in the digital marketing. The moderator of the event is Joya Scarlata. Joya has received her undergraduate master's degree in economics and international relations from Boston University, Massachusetts. She also received MBA from Jacobs Management Institute. She is a well-known speaker in different conferences in US and UK, and also an author. She is at present the Director of Digital Marketing at InterraIT. Over to Joya. Joya, you take it over from right now.
Thank you. Once again, welcome to the Council SME's April webinar. Again, my name is Joya Scarlata, and I will be the moderator for today's exciting event. As echoed, our topic today is on digital marketing. And before I introduce our speaker, I just wanted to share a few of my own thoughts. In essence, marketing, whether it's traditional or it's digital, it's really about how you reach and sell to your audience. So think about it this way. How would we know, say, if Nike had dropped a new line of shoes, or that your favorite store has launched a new product without marketing? Marketing is a way to communicate to the world on what your organization stands for, what it's doing, what products and services is offering, and also the direction that it's heading. So you really cannot ignore marketing. And while the core of marketing has really stayed the same, the way that we communicate and reach our audience has changed. So long gone are the days where we advertise on billboards or take an ad out in a newspaper. With the internet and the ever increasing use of our cell phones and other electronic devices, the world is more than ever interconnected, meaning that your audience, the consumers, can get information instantly at a click of a button. And they also expect instant and quick responses from their favorite brands. So this is really what digital marketing is about. It's where you are connecting and spreading your messaging through digital means, either via your website, through search engine marketing, or via your social media channels. So there's a lot of categories that fall under digital marketing, which unfortunately we don't have time to cover. But one way to reach your audience, regardless of the size of your company or the industry that you're in, or even the budget, is via Facebook. And I'll let our esteemed speaker talk more about this. Before I introduce him, I just wanted to quickly cover some housekeeping rules. Out of respect for the speaker, I request for all to place themselves on mute. There will be a question and answer section after the talk, so you will have plenty of opportunities to ask questions. If you do think of a question during the talk, you can always message me directly in the chat, and the event is recorded. So the link will also be provided shortly after today's session. So without further ado, let me introduce our wonderful speaker for today, Mr. Manoj Bajaj. He is the CEO of Gray Box Technologies, which is an online business growth consulting firm for medium to large size enterprises. He is also a best-selling author, speaker, digital marketing, and profit coach. He conducts a number of workshops, and his hard work and experience of over 26 years really speak for itself. He has worked with companies to include Microsoft, Google, and Motorola, and he's also authored 26 books, of which his most recent one being an Amazon bestseller. So please help me welcome Mr. Manoj Bajaj. On to you.
Thank you, and namaste, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on which part of the world you're attending this session from. And really thank Joya, Gurdeep ji, and Ashok ji and everyone for having me here. So without any further ado, let me just quickly jump into the session. Now, before I begin, I would like to ask you what kind of business you people are in. You may be into distribution business, you may be into retail business, you may be into technology services based business, you may be into manufacturing. What kind of business you may be in? Just write in the chat box quickly. You may be, some of you may be export, some of you may be into domestic businesses. So IT services, IT services, IT services, IT services, manufacturing, IT company, retail IT services. All right. IT services, digital marketing, teaching, IT services, health, blogging. Great, 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 fantastic. So I have a fair enough idea about the kind of businesses you may be in. So I would like to customize my delivery according to, since most of the companies, most of the people are representing IT companies. So we'll see if I can deliver some really amazing golden nuggets about how you can grow your business. So I would like to share my screen. So please let me know if you can see my screen. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
All right, great. So marketing, specifically digital marketing, is very easy when you know how. And I have already been introduced by Joya. So let me just quickly skip that. Now, as I've already asked you, what type of businesses are you representing here? So it can be B2C, it can be B2C offline retail, it could be B2B, it could be distribution, it could be exports, it could be retail chain. Now, since most of you are representing IT companies, so I believe most of you would be into B2B kind of an ecosystem. All right. So what kind of results or what kind of challenges are going to be solved? So have you ever experienced that you try to gain new clients, but somehow older clients are being left out, they are being lost, and they are leaving you and going to other companies and your competitors? Now, this is one of the huge challenges that a lot of businesses and companies face. Then now, if you have already bagged a client, you would like to sell more and more often to these clients and customers. Now, all of us as a business owner would, if you want, you can export your products or services to over 200 countries. And today I'm going to share a strategy about Facebook, how you can receive any one or multiple of these results, depending on the business and depending on the stage at which your business is currently at. So once I have shared the strategy, you would be able to reactivate your lost clients. You would be able to upsell or cross-sell more products, additional products or services to your existing clients. You would also be able to get new clients relatively with much more ease. And at the same time, if you want to grow your business If you're in India, to other countries, or maybe you may be in any country, you can use the exact same strategy and you can start selling or acquiring new clients from other countries of your choice. All right. This strategy is actually very easy to implement. This strategy, I have coined the term as 2K1W. I'm going to explain why I have coined this term as 2K1W. This is one of the easiest strategies that I have developed, and it has produced amazing results, and businesses have grown left, right, and center using this exact same strategy, which I'm going to share with you. Now, for implementing this strategy, you need data. Okay. What you need in the format of data is email addresses or mobile numbers. So let us say that you have gathered a list of email addresses of your potential customers, or of your existing customers, or maybe of your lost customers. Now, this is very, very valuable data. Let us say you have gathered hundreds or thousands of email addresses. Now, where will you get this data? I'm going to give you some ideas if you do not have the data. And what are the ideas? How can we get more data? I'm going to give you certain strategies for that as well. Now, let us say you are already an established business and you have been in this business for some years. So you will be getting a lot of leads. You will be getting a lot of conversions from those leads, and you will be getting customers. Now, you need to have data of email address of those customers and mobile numbers of those customers who have already done business with you. Or in other format, you can also get data of email addresses and or mobile numbers from or of the people who have generated leads for you but have not converted. And in yet another format, you can actually collate a list of email addresses or and mobile numbers of all the customers who have done business with you but are no longer doing business with you. That means lost clients. All right. Now, once you have taken this data, you have to upload this data. I'm going to show you the process, step-by-step process, how and where this data is to be uploaded. I'm assuming that you need to have a page on Facebook. If you do not have a page on Facebook, this strategy will not be implementable. But since all of you are belonging to certain established businesses, so I'm assuming that you will have a page on Facebook. And even if you don't have one, it is going to take mostly 15 minutes to 20 minutes to get one Facebook page up and running. All right. Now, you have to upload this data. So you have to create two different files. One file of all the email addresses that you have gathered, and another file of all the mobile numbers that you have gathered. And we'll have to go to audience section of Facebook. I'll just show you, walk you through the entire process. I'm just telling you. So you have to go to audience section of Facebook, and then you'll have to create an audience. Now, there is a very specific type of audience that we need to create. If you want, you can note it down. This type of audience is known as custom audience. So what you're supposed to do is create custom audience. So in custom audience, you have to upload the data. So one file of email addresses, you're supposed to upload it. And another file of, in the second iteration, you have to upload the other file of containing all the mobile numbers. Now, let us say you have uploaded those files. Now, Facebook is going to do basically that. Let us say you have uploaded a list of email addresses. So row 1, email address number 1, row 2, second email address, row 3, third email address. So Facebook is going to check if there is any account out of those 260 crore accounts, if there are any accounts on Facebook using this email address. Okay. If it finds, it actually adds that into its own list. Okay. Same ways, when you have uploaded a list of mobile numbers, it is going to check all of these mobile numbers one by one. So as I've mentioned, in the case of email addresses, you are supposed to upload the mobile numbers also in the same fashion. Row 1, mobile number 1, row 2, mobile number 2, row 3, mobile number 3, and you can upload these or save these as text files and then upload these files on Facebook. Now, once you have uploaded those mobile numbers, Facebook is once again going to check if there are any of these mobile numbers are being utilized or connected with any of the existing accounts on Facebook. Now, in about 20 to 30 minutes, it is going to give you the first cut that how many people it has recognized using the email addresses or mobile numbers that you have uploaded. And in about 24 hours, it will give you a very clear picture that how many of these people or how many of these email addresses or mobile numbers have been recognized. Now, one of the greatest challenges on Facebook is that I have seen a lot. I've worked with thousands of business owners, to be precise, about 4,700, 4,800 business owners. So a lot of times people tell us that they have spent a lot of money and they have actually lost a lot of money on Facebook because they tested certain strategies or they deployed certain strategies. They spent a lot of money, but they did not get any results. Now, the fundamental problem that they are actually committing or they're making or the mistake they are making is that whenever they actually target on Facebook, they basically target in the form of either age or demography. Okay, they target in the context of age group from X age to Y age. Then they target either X gender or Y gender, like male, female, or unknown. And then they also add maybe a couple of interests here and there. So let me break this down for you guys. If you do not know exactly what you're doing with demographic targeting, it is the worst form of targeting. Now, I've seen people burning money, tens of thousands of rupees, tens of lakhs of rupees. And I've also seen businesses who have spent crores of rupees using this format of saved audience. This is also technically known as saved audience. And they've spent crores of rupees and in the name of branding without getting any business growth opportunities from Facebook. So what I'm introducing here is called custom audience, which is going to help you. Okay. Now, in the case of custom audience, you will only with laser sharp focus, with very narrowed down, highly targeted people, because you are the person who has uploaded those email addresses or mobile numbers. And you already know that these are my either lost customers or past customers or leads that I would like to connect with. So out of 260 crore people who are using Facebook, you are actually going to target only the people that the list has been uploaded for. Okay. Now it cannot be more targeted. It cannot be more focused than this. So once you have actually created this audience, the next step is to create a campaign. Now there is another very specific type of campaign that I'm going to tell you. And there is a very specific way in which this campaign has to be created. So the campaign is known as lead generation campaign. Since most of the businesses here that you have shared with me belong to B2B kind of an ecosystem. So I'm going to talk more about the lead generation ecosystem. Had there been some people who were into e-commerce system, I would have talked about that e-commerce system as well. And in the meanwhile, if there are any people participating here in the webinar who belong to e-commerce ecosystems, you can please let me know. I will be happy to talk about e-commerce scenario as well. Now, taking this conversation forward in the context of lead generation. So there is a very specific type of campaign called lead generation campaign. Now you have to start this campaign. You have to create this campaign. And then whenever you start this campaign, whenever you try to create this campaign, it asks you, who do you want to target? So I have already uploaded a list of email addresses and mobile numbers, and Facebook has already told me that out of, let's say, 5,000 out of 10,000 data points that you have uploaded, I have maybe recognized 3,500, maybe I've recognized 4,800, I have recognized email addresses, and in the form of mobile numbers, it may be telling you that I have recognized 3,700, I've recognized maybe 4,000, and so on and so forth. Now, when I'm creating this campaign called lead generation campaign, I'm going to tell to target this list, which has been recognized by Facebook, and Facebook clearly tells you, which I shared with you earlier, in about 20-30 minutes, it tells you how many people have been recognized by Facebook. Okay, so once you are creating this campaign, after that, telling the audience that you want to target, it asks you, what are your budgets? Okay, now in the context of budget, I have actually found a sweet spot after testing these kinds of strategies hundreds and sometimes thousands of times. Okay, the sweet spot is 2,000 rupees. Okay, that is where the 2K thing is coming from in 2K 1W. So you are supposed to spend only 2,000 rupees, and then the next part of 1W coming in, that you have to run this campaign only and only for 1 week. Okay, only and only for 1 week. So the entire campaign is going to start on maybe first of a month, or maybe let us say today is 8th. So let us say the campaign is going to start on 9th, and then the campaign end time and date would be 9 plus 7, because it is supposed to run for 7 days, 16th of April. Okay, you are going to set that up, or you are telling the agency who is going to set it up for you that the campaign life is going to be 7 days only. And then the budget for that 7 days is 2,000 rupees only. Okay, I'm going to talk about, there are in so many ways people can actually screw this up. I'm going to tell you how not to screw this up. And trust me, do it exactly the way I'm telling you, and you're going to start seeing results. Now, what will happen after you have set up the campaign? Now, campaign would start getting rolled out, and in about a day, in about a 2 days time, maybe 3 days time, you'll start seeing that the leads have started flowing in. Now, I have seen, since I have used this strategy myself, I have used this strategy to generate 15,000, 14,000, 13,000, 18,000 leads at different times of time for our own company. I have used and taught this strategy to my clients. I have used the exact same strategy for my clients. Just to tell you, we just ended a project about 2 months ago in about Feb end. We had generated almost about 5 crores rupees worth of sales just by using this exact same strategy. Now, just to give you a couple of more ideas, that exact same strategy, which I've just explained you, I'm going to show you the screenshots and walk you through this, has been used by other businesses in travel who has generated 17,000, 18,000 leads when they use this, and people have grown left, right, and center. And people who are into travel industry have used it, who are into manufacturing industry have used it, who are into retail have used it. People who want to grow their export business have used it. People who are into e-commerce business, they have used it. So all sorts of businesses can use this strategy. Now, let me just walk you through the step-by-step process. So there is a, on the top right corner, the interface keep changing on this, but you have to see there is a icon over here. Okay, so you have to see here, there is this thing called manage ads. Now, since I am managing a lot of accounts, so it is showing me manage ads. In your case, it might show you create ads. Okay, so this is probably the only difference that you're going to see. Then when you click on manage ads, you will see that when you click on Facebook ads, you will see here audiences. Okay, so you have to click here, then you have to click on tools, and then you can see audiences. Okay, now when you reach there, you will see create audience over there. Okay, now you click on create audience, and then in this drop down you see custom audience. Now click on custom audience, and then you will see here customer list. Okay, customer list. Now this is where we are supposed to upload the data. Okay, now if you see here, when you go through this on-screen dialog boxes, eventually you will arrive at this place which asks you whether you want to copy or paste the data or you want to upload the file. Okay, since we have already created text files, one file for email addresses and one file for mobile numbers, so we are going to use this option called upload file, and then of course we are going to show the file in your device, whichever device you may be using, and upload the file. Now, after you have uploaded the file, it will show below 1,000 populating. Okay. Now, it will also, if you're able to see my screen, you will see that 67,000 people have been recognized. Now, there is one caveat to this, one thing that you have to remember. You must ensure that number of recognized audience should be above 1,000. Okay, so you need to upload enough data, maybe 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, or maybe more. Okay, so that when you upload it, upload the data, and when after the Facebook has recognized the data, it should be above 1,000. All right. Otherwise, it will keep showing below 1,000, and you will not know whether it has recognized one or it has recognized 999 people out of the list that you have uploaded. So it will be a good idea to upload a good enough size of data. Having said that, let me give you how we have tested it in a different fashion altogether. So one of the business owners into pharma segment approached me, Manoj, I love this strategy. I would like to implement it, but there is a problem. I asked him, what is the problem? He said, I only have about 500 odd or 700 odd people in my data list. So I said, fine, since the budget is only 2,000 rupees, and any business owner can actually take a risk or spend 2,000 rupees on testing. So I said, no problems. Just upload the data, whatever data you have, and let us see if this gives any results. So he uploaded the data, and eventually he got only 7 leads out of this in the next 1 week after spending after creating 2K 1W strategy. And in fact, he did not even spend 2,000 rupees. It was only about 1100 that rupees that he was able to spend. But out of the 7 leads, he converted 3 of them in the next month, generating a business of about 3 crores. Okay, and eventually 1 more lead or 2 more leads converted, and hence taking the total generated business to about 6 to 7 crores. Okay, on the exact same strategy. So what I would recommend to you is that even if the data is small, okay, just upload it, we take a chance. And then since the upper risk limit is only 2,000 rupees, we are not going to lose much. Okay, so deploy the strategy, even if you have smaller amount of data. Now, in case of exporters, if they say I only have 10 customers, I only have 15 customers or 30 customers, then please don't use this. The strategy is not going to work in that case. You have to have at least few hundred data, or maybe even better, few thousands or tens of thousands of data, so that the strategy would really produce some brilliant, amazing results for you. Because as I've mentioned, it is going to take about 20-30 minutes to review the entire data list that you've uploaded. And then in about 24 hours, it will give you the fix that it has processed all the data. And this is the final count of people that have been recognized. Now, how does this strategy work? Now, let me just explain you. Okay, I am assuming that all of you would have used Facebook on mobile devices and also on desktops or computers. Now, whenever you're using Facebook on your mobile, okay, you will be seeing a timeline or Facebook news feed. Okay, you scroll through this news feed, and sometimes you see news feed posts mentioning sponsored over there. I'm 100% sure all of you would have noticed that. Now, the sponsored means that someone is targeting you, and he has created, or that advertiser has created or identifies one such criteria in which you fit into the target audience profile. And that is the exact reason why the sponsored ad is being shown to you. Now, since I've already explained you that you have actually uploaded the data of the people who you are interested in doing business with, or in talking to, or initiating conversations with. Now, this is going to show as sponsored in their newsfeed. Whenever they log in and check their newsfeeds, it is going to show there as sponsored in their newsfeed as well. Now, a brilliant thing that would happen is, now let me take a step back and then explain you how Facebook works. Now, whenever you create your account on Facebook, or whenever anybody creates an account on Facebook, he has to tell the name, he has to tell, or she has to tell the gender, he or she has to tell the date of birth, and then maybe location or address or any such numbers, any such details and data points. So Facebook already knows your name. Facebook already knows your mobile number because it has verified by sending you the OTP, and email address has also been verified by sending you the OTP or the link that you're supposed to click and verify your email. So Facebook already has your email address and mobile number, and Facebook also has tons of other data that is already there with Facebook, okay, about you. Now, since Facebook already has this data, now let us say you see this ad and you click on subscribe or know more or apply now or whatever call to action button or whatever button you click on. Now, since Facebook has all the data about you, for example, to be able to generate a lead, we will need a name and mobile number and email addresses, okay, of the person who you want to connect with, because you need contact information to be able to connect with that person. So minimum, you may require name and email address. I would highly recommend that apart from email address, you should also get mobile number also. Now understand this, I just explained you, Facebook has all of these 3 data points. Facebook already knows your name, Facebook already knows your email address, Facebook already knows your mobile number. All of those 3 fields are pre-populated, appeared on this. Whenever you press this button, all of these 3 fields, I'm assuming that apne 3 fields mangi hai. In this case, you see there are 2 fields that are asked, and both of those fields are already pre-populated. Now, when the person says that this data is correct, he or she is going to press the submit button and lead is submitted. So understand this, one tap, pre-filled information is coming in the form, and second tap, lead is generated. Now, the entire process is so transparent, is so amazingly simple that people will start giving you leads left, right, and center. So they will tap once, they will tap twice, and then you have generated a lead. Now understand this. This is a very simple process, and the person does not have to type in, and it is going to start creating for some of you flood of leads. And I'm just sharing with you. I met with somebody who was into loan business, who is into loan business. He said, हमारे पास इतनी leads आ रही हैं, इतनी leads आ रही हैं, इतनी leads आ रही हैं, we are going crazy. Our sales team is like running around here and there like headless chickens, and we don't know what to do with those leads. So I told him to stop those leads, fix your sales team issues, fix the streamline that, and then restart this entire process all over again. Okay, don't lose your money and don't generate leads if you cannot handle them. Otherwise, lead would go cold, and all the money that you have spent on generating those leads would be wasted. All right. So coming to this conversation back here. So as I mentioned, 1 week is the life of the campaign, and then 2,000 rupees is the money that you will spend for this entire life of 1 week. Now, probably sometimes people ask me, why are you restricting this campaign to 1 week? Now, there is a very specific reason. After doing a lot of research, lot of iterations, we have identified this is the best method, best strategy to work. Now, what will happen after 1 week? Now, let us say you have generated leads. Let us say you generated 20 leads, 30 leads, 100 leads, 200 leads. Now to call them. Okay, when you call those leads, you will immediately, after calling these people, know that whether these leads are useful and relevant or they are irrelevant leads. Now, sometimes people tell me, Manoj, I got those leads, but those leads were not relevant at all. Now, whenever I have actually dug deeper, I have always found out they have implemented it all wrong. Okay, they have actually either screwed up at the point where audience was supposed to be uploaded, or they mixed some different types of audiences, or they mixed custom audience with saved audience. And these are all the ways to screw this up, or only the few of the ways to screw this up. There are several more ways. So, okay, so let me just share with you that do not change anything which I have told you. Okay, that is the only thing that you have to take care of. Now, after that, let us say you found that there are certain leads you have identified. They are really, really useful for you, and the leads are relevant. Now, I would remove the 1 week and 2,000 rupees constraints, limitations. Now you can start increasing and growing your budgets, and then you can start running those campaigns. Instead of weekly budget, you can start running on daily budget. Okay. And I have seen people who are spending 10,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees every single day using this exact same strategy, which I've just shared with you. And they're doing minting money left, right, and center. And they said Facebook is the best thing that has ever happened to their business. Okay. Now, next thing is that, okay, so let me just take a feedback. Is anything I've just shared so far making sense for people who are attending this? Okay, is this useful? Thank you. Thank you for your response. Thank you so much. All right. So should I move forward? You want to know more about this strategy? How else this strategy can be used? Great. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, great. Thank you for your permission. Let me just move forward. Now, let me give you an example of how we use or how we work online. Okay. Now, let us just say a lot of you said that you are into IT field or technology field. Now, whenever you actually go online, all right, on Google or YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or maybe any other platform of your choice, you will be spending a lot of time or a considerably large chunk of your time out of the entire time that you spend online on stuff or on content related to your is in jewelry. Okay, he is a jewelry business owner. Okay, now whenever he would go online, apart from other things, he would definitely like to go and check what is the new set of designs, what are the new trends, what is his or her competition doing, what is happening in India, what is happening in South India, what are the new designs that have come up in XYZ jewelers who he considers to be maybe as a competitor or so. So a significant chunk of time of his online time, okay, would be spent on stuff related to his or her profession. Do you guys understand and agree with this? Yes or yes? Great. Great. Now, after you have uploaded this list, okay, let us say you uploaded maybe 5,000, 10,000 data points of email addresses and mobile addresses. Now, Facebook goes through all of those people and tries to identify certain behavioral patterns. Now, as I just shared, as I just gave you an example of jeweler, now jeweler being into this industry is spending a considerably large amount of time on checking out jewelry related stuff. He would be reading blogs about jewelry. He would be checking out maybe jewelry galleries on Pinterest, or maybe he would be checking out certain videos. He would be checking out certain blogs written by jewelry designers and so on and so forth. So Facebook identifies that all the people who are right now in jewelry, okay, they have a certain behavioral pattern. Okay, let us say हम बात करते हैं किसी let's say okay, Joya, let's say you are into digital marketing, right? You are doing professional digital marketing services. Is that understanding correct?
Yep. Sure.
Okay, so I am assuming you would be spending some time apart from the other time duration that you spend online on related to stuff like digital marketing strategies, digital marketing tools, maybe Neil Patel, maybe YouTube, maybe XYZ. You spend some considerable amount of time on YouTube also, or on digital marketing related stuff also. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So whichever profession, whichever business you may be in, you will be spending a considerable portion of your online time with stuff, with content, with videos, with tweets, with images, with anything else related to your profession. All right. Now, in this context, Facebook identifies or tries to identify a pattern of the people whose list has been uploaded by you. Okay. So as I just mentioned, you have uploaded 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 lists, okay, data point lists. Facebook goes through that and identifies a pattern, and then it creates what is known as look-alike audience. What it is known as look-alike audience. Now Facebook tells you, I have identified. Now up to about a few months ago, it would tell you, it would first ask you, आपको कौन सी country के अंदर, which country do you want to create your lookalike audience for? So using this, let us say you are currently active in India and you have thousands of past customers. You have uploaded the data, and now that data has been recognized, and now you create a lookalike audience. Now, up till about few months ago, Facebook would ask you, now I am going to create a lookalike audience, but which country do you want to create lookalike audience for or in? So if you want to expand your business in India, you would say, I want to get my lookalike audience in India. Now, in the same fashion, if you want to grow your business outside India in some other countries, you can tell, I want to find lookalike people in maybe USA. I want to find lookalike people maybe in Australia. I want to find lookalike people maybe in Sri Lanka or Nepal or Bangladesh or Pakistan or Afghanistan. So you just mentioned the country, and Facebook would try to identify the pattern of your existing custom audience, and then it will try to find and give you in just about a couple of minutes that I have identified 15 lakh people, I have identified 30 lakh people, I have identified 40 lakh people whose behavior is similar to the list of people that you have uploaded already that has been recognized. Okay, now this is yet another a very, 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 very powerful strategy that you can deploy. Now, once you tested it out in custom audience, now once again we are going to create yet another campaign which we are going to use for lookalike audience. Now, same campaign or similarly, जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया था, उसी टाइप का एक कैंपेन बनेगा. 2K 1W का हमारा उसके अंदर साइंस डिप्लॉय होगा जैसे हमने पहले करा था, but the only difference would be in the earlier campaign we use the custom audience से जो हमने अभी custom audience जो हमने upload करा था फाइल का. In this case, we are going to create the audience targeting for the lookalike audience that we just created. Okay, is this clear to everybody? So in the first campaign, we were targeting audience of the custom audience that we created after uploading the list of data. Now, in this case, we are creating another campaign, but now in this campaign, we will be targeting the lookalike audience that we created out of the custom audience. Now, which custom audience should we create a lookalike for? Now, since I'm assuming you have already run the first campaign, you've already talked to the people who have already talked to the leads, and now you know that leads are relevant. Now, depending on your business that you may be in, sometimes leads may take a few days, leads may take few weeks, leads may take few months, and maybe there would be some people who would say that lead आने के convert होने के अंदर, lead आने के बाद business के अंदर convert होने में it may take several quarters or sometimes years also. I'm okay with that. So should we wait once you have started getting the conversions? No. The moment you have spoken to those leads and you have understood that leads are definitely relevant, now it is just a matter of time that some of those relevant leads would convert into business. Now you have to start creating your lookalike audience as well. Now, lookalike audience would also be created immediately. It's going to take 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops. Then you're going to create another campaign, same 2,000 rupees, 1 week, 2K, 1W. And then when you start generating leads from lookalike campaign as well, you have to talk to those leads to identify whether those leads are relevant. Now, if those leads are relevant, understand for sure that you have hit a jackpot. Understand for sure, 100% guarantee that you have got a jackpot. Okay. And then there is no upper limit to how much you can grow your business. Okay. So how does this work? So lookalike I've shared with you. Now, same create audience, you have to this time select lookalike. And now, as I mentioned, up till few months ago, it was asking for location. It does not ask for location any longer. It creates the worldwide audience. Now, when you target, okay, it creates a worldwide audience. When you target those people, it will ask you which country or which geography do you want to target it in. Okay, so after I've explained the basic context, I'll explain you, if the time permits, and if you guys are interested, I'll explain you in how many ways this strategy can be used, and how flexible, how amazingly flexible this entire strategy is. Okay, so same thing which I have explained you. This is how the leads are going to be generated. Now, when Facebook has generated leads, it is a bit absurd that Facebook does not inform you that it has generated some leads or some leads have been generated. So you have to keep reloading that page. Okay. And then it shows you some leads have been generated, and then there will be a link. You'll have to click that link and download. And the link will click. When you click the link, this file would be downloaded somewhat like this. So as you can see, email aa raha hai, naam aa raha hai, mobile number aa raha hai. Okay. These are the 3 things that I had shared with you that you are supposed to ask when you're generating leads. So this is how leads would be generated. Now, that is all I had planned to share for. I was allocated a time of about 30-35 minutes. So I think I've used up my time. So if there are any questions, you can ask me any questions if there are any.
Yeah, thank you for the incredibly informative session. So I will now open the floor to any questions that the audience may have. Or I can, kick off the question and answer.
Sure.
So you mentioned about the list of target audiences. Are there any specifics that are worth knowing to deploy the strategy? Yes.
So as I mentioned that whenever you want to run this campaign, you must have at least 1,000 recognized people in your list. Okay. So when you upload the list or upload the data, you must ensure that your list should be several thousand long, so that after Facebook has processed the list, it has a minimum of 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, you can say, size of the list. Okay. But at the same time, let us say if you do not have that big of a data, it is still okay. Now, it will keep showing you below 1,000, as I showed you in my screenshot earlier. It will keep showing you. Now, as a human tendency, when something is not clear, it irritates, it bothers us. So don't get bothered, don't get bugged. It will keep showing you below 1,000. There is no way to figure out whether only one person was recognized out of the list data that you uploaded, or it recognized 999. But still, having said that, since the upper risk limit is only and only 2,000 rupees, we're still going to run this campaign. Okay, and wait patiently for 7 days to see what works, whether it worked or whether it did not work. Now, for some people, it is going to work amazing, and I'm guaranteeing you, if you are one of the people or if you are one of the businesses for which this worked, you would have hit a jackpot, and there is no upper limit to which how much your business can scale using this strategy.
Okay, I think we have someone in the audience, Dr. Kanan. I hope I'm pronouncing your name. If you wanted to unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yes, ma'am. Is it audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Very nice section. I'm also understanding it about the digital marketing in today's digital world. Thank you very much, sir. One of the question, after we collect the lead from the 15 lakhs, we have to collect 5,000 leads. So what is the next process? How could we proceed the next process for that?
How could I proceed?
We have to make the call, or we have to send the mail separately to them about our business?
Okay. Now, you can do both, but how would you be able to figure out whether the leads are relevant at the fastest way? Now, calling a person and figuring out whether this is a relevant person for me to follow up is faster way than sending emails to all the people, and then it takes several days or weeks or months to be able to figure out whether those listed people in this email are useful for us or not. So I would always recommend, once you have started generating leads, call those people and do not wait till the 7th day that the campaign would be over and then I will start calling. Day 1, let us say 2, 3, 5 leads came in, talk to those 5 people. Day 2, again, another set of 2, 3, 5, 10 leads came in, start talking to those people, so that you do not run the risk of getting those leads cold. Okay, you, let's say, started the campaign, let's say on day 1, 3, 4, 5 leads came in, and if you are continuing to wait till 7th day, those 3, 4, 5 leads that came in on first day would go cold completely on maybe day 2 and day 3. Okay, so you will start seeing that people would stop picking up your calls. People would say, I did not fill up the lead, and you'll start seeing this problem. So the best way is to, as soon as you generate a lead, as soon as you see a lead has come in, immediately call that up in about maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour duration, because after that leads start growing colder. And 24 hours ke baad to matlab you have already lost the battle. Have I answered your question?
I think it's on mute. Yeah.
Next question.
Does anyone have any questions? Otherwise, I have another one. I like how you walk through the steps. So it looks pretty easy. Is this something that companies themselves can do themselves?
Yes. So if you have been doing Facebook ads, if you know exactly what you're doing, then yes. If you have understood the process is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. But still, I would not recommend you to implement it on your own if you have never done this kind of stuff in the past. Because one wrong setting here and there can lead to your account suspension forever. Okay, because Facebook policies have grown very, very strict in the last year or so, because after Corona, people tried selling a lot of nonsensical things like masks. Now, imagine a person is suffering from Corona and you're marketing to them, mask buy kar lo, X buy kar lo, Y buy kar lo. So as a policy, Facebook has actually really grown very strict as far as the account behavior and editorial policy guidelines are concerned. So do not try to implement it yourself. Hire an agency, ask them if they have got any past experience in doing Facebook ads. That is the best way to go. Okay, do not take this risk and try to do it yourself for saving like few thousand rupees of agency fee. I would not recommend you that. So hire a good agency, get this done from them.
Okay. So, a lot of people tend to use Facebook more for their personal reasons, and there's a lot of other, I guess, social media channels that are more popular, at least, in the US, they have TikTok and all that. So how relevant is Facebook for especially B2B businesses these days?
Yes. So I get this a lot of times. Manoj, people go online on Facebook for friendships and social networking. They are not going there with any form of business intent. Okay, maybe some of you would have this thought process in going on in your mind. Do you guys think like this, or you have a different set of opinions? Dear participants, I'm asking you. You also think that it may not be relevant for B2B people to target or to use Facebook for marketing? Okay, Tarak Shah says, no, not at all. I don't think like that. Okay. Now, please understand whether the person is a business owner or an employee or a student. Okay. So they are all there on Facebook. Now, whenever they are on Facebook, if they find something useful, they are going to react. Now, I give this is one of my common or my favorite example. Let us say you have a very small child in your house and you want to get this child admitted in a preschool. Now, let us just say you belong to Delhi, geography, you are from Delhi, and you know that Delhi admission rules have been changing. It was a point system, and it was distance criteria, then it was parents educational criteria, this and that, and a lot of point wise things were there, and it increasingly became difficult to get your ward admitted into the school of your choice, and then there was donation and other things. Okay, this quota, that quota, management quota, and other thing. Now let us say you're doing your regular thing on Facebook, you're networking with people online on Facebook, and you suddenly see a message, get your child admitted in the school of your choice without spending an extra penny on that for that. Okay, since you are right now interested and really want to get your child admitted, no matter what you're doing, you will drop everything and you take a look at that ad message, whether it is an ad or whether this is just a post somebody else has shared. You will get attracted to that, and then if it says download this white paper or download this article or check out this video, you will automatically click on that, react on that ad or that message, and go check out that video, go check out that email, go check out that whatever article, content, whatever it is. So that is the power of now content, or that is the power of messaging. So in marketing, there are two very, very important things. One is the target audience. Aapko baat karni kisse hai? Second is, what is the message, so that I want to talk to that person, whether he also has to be interested in me talking to me or not. So he should also be interested. So your messaging in your ads must contain strategic information. After reading, this person who is doing some random stuff on Facebook also becomes interested in taking a look at what you have to say or listening what you have to say. Okay, so create your ads strategically, and you'll start seeing responses left, right, and center. And B2B businesses, I gave you an example of pharma business. I gave you an example of travel business that was on B2C travel. So all sorts of businesses. I just in my last batch, I conduct workshops as well. In my last batch, there was this gentleman who was selling dry pumps. Now, one dry pump would usually cost around maybe starting from 8 to 10 lakhs and go all the way up to 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs. Now, he said, I've sold crores of rupees of pumps by using Facebook. Again, B2B. Okay. So all kinds of businesses must use this strategy. And let us say, if this did not work, let us say you tend to be from a business for which this strategy did not work. What would you have lost? Only 2,000 rupees. That's all. Okay. So I would recommend any and every business to test this strategy out. I hope I've answered this question, Joya.
Yeah, no, thank you. That makes sense. We had another question. I think it's from our previous participant who asked. He said, apart from 2K1, any other free trial software that's available? And he followed up saying, if his leads are only, say, at 200, can he use any other software?
Yes. So there are certain advanced implementations of this strategy. You can use WhatsApp bots, and you can use MailChimp and integrate it with Facebook, so that as soon as leads start flowing in, MailChimp would start sending emails, and automated follow-up system can be set up. In the same similar or identical fashion, you can set up the WhatsApp messaging system, in which as soon as the lead starts flowing in, okay, it will be directly fed into that Facebook bot, WhatsApp bot system, and automatically Facebook, I don't know why I keep saying, WhatsApp bot system would continue to start pushing messages. It may be in the form of videos, it may be in the form of text messages, it may be in the form of images or infographics or audio messages also. Okay, so the idea is to immediately connect with those people, and if the lead volume is very high, of course, it will be difficult for us to handle it manually. So we can deploy certain automation systems, but I do not recommend I do not recommend immediately implementing for automation, because let us get some results first. And I am a person who strongly supports, and I only teach lean business growth model. I never tell a business owner to spend a lot of money first and then see whether results start flowing in. Otherwise, it may be good, but a lot of times it may result into a lot of money being lost and burned even before you were able to test the entire marketing model or product model. So I would always recommend run this system first, even if you get 200 leads. Okay, so ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि पहले दिन ही 200 leads आ जाएंगी. This entire lead system, maybe day 1 के ऊपर आपको 10-20 leads आ गई, day 2 के ऊपर 15-20 leads आ गई, day 3 के ऊपर. Stop that campaign. Stop that campaign right away. If you know that already 30, 40, 50 leads have already come in and I cannot handle more leads than this, stop that campaign right now. Okay, do not let it go to 200 leads, because if you are not able to handle 200 leads manually, the leads would go cold, and all the money, however small, 2,000 rupees, that money would be wasted. Okay, so you can stop that campaign the moment you see the lead volume has started going beyond the volume that you can handle or your sales team can handle. All right, I hope I have answered this question. And also there are ways when you start scaling the strategy up, then you can start integrating the advanced technologies like MailChimp or WhatsApp bot and so on and so forth, but not at the beginning when you're testing this out.
Makes sense. I'll just ask unless the audience has any questions, I'll just ask one more. Just kind of outside of Facebook, just looking at consumer expectations, and they're always changing. I guess, how do you see the direction of just digital marketing heading? What direction is it? It's going to be more, especially let's maybe talk about lead generation. Is it going to be more, audio focused? Is it going to be, ads that are short form videos? How do you see it changing?
Okay, so great question. So let me just take a step back and let me share my perspective, what has happened in digital marketing. Now, up till about 2019 and 2020, people were saying, or industry visionaries were saying, that 2025 is going to be the year when it is going to start really taking off. Okay, but immediately after that, when Corona lockdown happened, that 5-year span has actually reduced to maybe 1 year. Now, we have already surpassed those numbers, those estimations, which we were supposed to touch anywhere around 2025. We already surpassed those numbers in 2022. So that thing has already started taking off. Now, coming to second part of your question, which kind of ads or platforms would work well? I have worked with LinkedIn, I have worked with YouTube, I worked with Twitter, I worked with email marketing, I worked with blogging, I worked with video marketing, I worked with WhatsApp marketing, Facebook. I just shared my bit of experience on Facebook as well. I worked with all sorts of platforms. All sorts of platforms have a specific type of audience, and there is a specific type of strategic approach you need to take. You cannot deploy one strategy in all the platforms and then pray that something might work. Okay, it doesn't work like that. Okay, there will be certain kinds of businesses that can get hugely benefited from LinkedIn, and there will be certain other businesses that will be hugely benefited from Google. I forgot to mention about Google Ads and SEO as well. I've worked with those platforms and those systems as well. Okay, so you need to first of all understand which kind of platform is best suitable for your kind of business, and then which kind of strategies you must deploy. So I would say I would put my money onto the platform based on my experience, the platform which is most suitable for growing my business. Now, it also depends on the type of business you may be in. Now you may be into lead generation ecosystem, you may be into B2C or e-commerce based ecosystem also. Now choice of platform also changes depending on the type of business and the kind of audience that you want to connect with. Okay. And like I mentioned, 2K1W stuff, there are different type of strategies that have evolved for testing out different platforms and identifying which platform is most suitable for your kind of business and how to deploy certain strategic approaches so that you can start getting amazing responses. I have tons upon tons of examples, like for example, using a specific LinkedIn strategy. One of my past batch participant has generated 800 crores rupees of business, 800 crores rupees worth of business. There is yet another past batch participant who has generated 153 crores rupees worth of business pipeline. There is yet another who has generated 23 crores of business in just a span of 2-3 months. Okay. And there is no business that will not get benefited from digital marketing. There is only one exception to it: government tendering. In government tendering, the scope of digital marketing becomes very constrained, very limiting. But which I just gave an example of 800 crores rupees worth of business. The platform that was used was LinkedIn and clubbed with email. Okay, LinkedIn and email, when clubbed together in a very specific strategic way, she was able to generate a business of 800 crores. Okay, and that was from government of Israel. Okay, so even that was a tendering thing, but brilliant things happened when we use LinkedIn clubbed with the email marketing, the way I tell people to. I hope I have answered your question to a certain extent.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Just in regards to time, I think I'll wrap it up. But thank you so much. I definitely learned a lot, and I think I'll pass it on to Gurdeep, who will give some closing remarks.
Sure.
Thank you, Joya and Manoj, for sharing your experience. And it was really a wonderful session. I personally will surely contact Manoj to work for my business. And similarly, I expect in case somebody is interested to take more advices, so they can contact Council SMEs. So we'll get in touch with Manoj to take this forward. And it was really a wonderful session. I thank all the participants and Council of SMEs, Ashok sir, for supporting us in organizing this, and many more to come in future. Thank you, Zoya, and thank you, Manoj.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And finally, thanks to all the participants who have spared time in understanding and giving importance to digital marketing. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.